WWE fans, welcome to another great edition of the Backstage Jabronis. I'm Jeremy York. He's Daniel Snyder. We are the tag team champions of all things WWE media. Don't believe us, just ask us. And we are here to talk all things Elimination Chamber. You're getting a little too excited there. I'm going to need you to bring it down about 10, 12%. We're just starting. But as always, how are you, bud?
Always good. Always good. I'm trying to stay out of some people's way so that I don't get cursed.
It can happen. It can happen. We almost. I'll be honest. I almost decided to just go rogue and name today's episode Jabroni Hausen. I thought that would be a good title, but we'll get into that for people who have no idea what we're talking about. And if any time he wants to join the show, he is always welcome on anything here at Impact Media. He is a fascinating person. Don't know who we're talking about? Well, we're a little ways from getting into it. Uh,
Yeah.
we usually start with SmackDown. There was a couple things on SmackDown here and there, but really Elimination Chamber stole the weekend outside of a couple things on Raw. Is there anything on SmackDown that really jumped out to you?
Well, yeah. We mentioned that it was supposed to have been Bronson Reed winning that
Oh
Elimination
yeah.
Chamber qualifying match, and because he
Mm-hmm.
got hurt, they had to plug Jay in to do it, and
Yep.
so they took care of that Jay issue at the start of SmackDown by
Poor Jay. This is like
having
Bailey.
him
There is
jump.
not a dang thing wrong with him. There wasn't anything wrong with Bailey, and she gets attacked and she gets taken out so Becky Lynch can be in it. And I like Becky Lynch too, but take her out of WrestleMania for that. They're even making a joke about it now with Bailey. And then what did Jay do? Unless he was legit hurt, because he did show up on Raw with crutches. So I mean, I don't know if he's just selling it or what, but Jay didn't do anything. He
He
did
he,
you a favor.
he showed up with crutches only to use them because he jumped in that ring like nothing was wrong with him.
I don't think
It
there
was
is.
strictly done to get Logan in the match.
Which
That I mean,
good
you
call.
couldn't have
Nothing personal, Jay. Good call.
yeah you couldn't have um
One heel in there.
one heel and five faces. My mom just tried to call of all times. I've been home all day. I'm filming. Of all the entire day I've been home and had nothing to do, and she calls me in the middle of us doing this. Um,
Welcome to my day. Everybody
so
calls me on lunch.
I don't. I'm always eating, so my lunch is all day. Um, um. So other than that, on SmackDown, Fatu and Logan
Mm-hmm.
went against each other, and Drew McIntyre made sure Fatu also knew that he was not going to be in the Elimination Chamber because I believe he put insert himself in that Logan Paul and Fatu match. Yeah, he hit him with the belt or something.
Yeah.
Uh, and we'll talk about Drew in the Elimination Chamber match too, even though he wasn't on the
Yeah.
show.
Uh,
On the show.
yeah. He wasn't booked. We'll put it that way. He was not booked for the
Yes, he
show.
wasn't booked. Yeah,
He
yeah.
very much was in attendance.
Um. So yeah. Other than that, like I said, I don't think anything major happened on SmackDown. Um.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, we cannot forget there was a title change. There was one on SmackDown and Raw this week. I can't
Yes, there
forget
was.
the
There was.
irresistible forces. Lash Legend and Nia Jax are your new women's tag team champions, and thank you. For
Which
one,
yes,
you took
but
it off of
like
Rhea,
like
but as soon as it's what you said, and it's what we've both said before, when they cleared the deck, they took the title off Rhea. Boy, they tipped their hand the way it was going to go on Saturday.
they 100%, and that's what I messaged you. I was like, hey, we know who's going to win the women's elimination chamber.
Yep. And when you said that, I had not seen it yet, and I did. I was like, okay, I still want to see how it plays out, and we'll get into that in just a second. But great, okay, let's let's move
Who's
from
on
that
my
one then.
side? Yeah, we're having technical issues on my side. You froze up for a second.
I think it's both. I think it's like when it freezes, when I look like I freeze, you freeze on my side. So it's either way. It should be a great show. Um, but yeah, congratulations to them on the tag team championship. Um, let's see where that was pretty much everything. The mask guy did show up at the end of that one too, right before Drew did. So we got to give the mask guy credit because it's not going to be the last time we mention those people. Now he was unmasked, or he unmasked himself, I think, and he ended up being some random guy. I'm sure he's an NXT guy or something
No,
that like
he's
getting on
not.
TV. I have no idea who he is.
I know who he is. He's one of the guys that trains at Seth's school. At Seth's school, all these mask guys are guys that's been training at Seth's school. I've did some research.
So I have a synopsis. I don't want to say theory because it has nothing to do with him now. It did, but not anymore. I okay when we mention that person you just mentioned again, I have a I have a hypothesis about what they might be doing.
All right.
There I go blurry again. Weird.
Yeah, I'm saying we're having very interesting technical difficulties today.
I know, and it's
it's
not the
not
lens.
normal.
It's no, it's I don't know. Maybe there's a masked guy in here somewhere. I haven't seen him, but um, let's see. Still doing it. There we go.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
have
you were
no idea
frozen
why
on
it
my
does it.
end. I don't know what's going on, man.
Yeah. But other than that, mask guy, everything there, that moves us to Saturday and the Elimination Chamber.
It started off with your women's elimination chamber match.
I was okay with that.
I know you was. I wasn't.
I wanted it to start. Well, I wasn't. I was
Oh no
okay
no
with it
no!
starting.
You was. I was okay with the match. Yes, I wasn't okay with who won. You were okay with who
Correct.
won.
Correct. Correct. I agree there. Although, like we said, they basically went chalk. They decided what can give us the biggest draw, not the best match, the biggest draw, and that's Rhea Ripley. So they've not only
And
took the titles off of her and Io, they have split them. Rhea's now technically on the other show at least until WrestleMania, and so they've just completely blown up the bigger push they had going in the tag division, which means to me this is probably plan C or D at this point.
and word is that Jade is rubbing a lot of the female superstars in the back the wrong way. Like nobody really likes her. You better be
She
careful, man.
sometimes lives
She
her
is,
gimmick. That's what people said in AEW behind the scenes is that she's a physical specimen. She's very athletic, very gifted, very good
and she
on
thinks she's
camera.
bigger
Sometimes
than what she
doesn't
is,
turn it
though.
off when the camera turns off. She doesn't always turn it off, and that's how she's turning people off. That's basically it. That's what I've heard. I've not met her. I don't know. I've also heard people like Shaq talk very highly about her, but I I've always heard that too. She tends to not make the best impression.
This isn't this isn't the late '90s, mid to late '90s. That attitude's
Nope.
not going to work in the back.
Nope.
She will be looking for another place to wrestle.
Yeah, and I don't think she can return where she
And
did.
I like her, but
Yeah.
I don't think Mania is going to be Jade versus Rhea unless something happens like might happen on Friday.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that as well when we get to it. Um, and you know what? When that happened, when that was brought up on Raw, I couldn't help but giggle because they just can't help themselves. WWE can't
No.
help themselves.
No, they can't. It's it's Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute because yeah, I'm gonna try to keep it at a mini rant, but there is definitely a rant that has to do with the match that was added to this week's SmackDown.
Start doing crazy stuff so that when if I freeze, I'll be like,
Oh, I can tell when you freeze for sure, but yeah, we'll talk about that match that was added here in a minute for sure. Um, I did like that. I saw an article the other day. I didn't really read it, but it says, "Is Kiana James stealing Julia's thunder?" First off, I don't know that Julia had any thunder to
I was
start
about to
with,
say,
but if Kiana
what?
stealing it, I think she's making the most of an opportunity, and she's the one getting the push because of it.
I'm practicing. Who knows when it's going to freeze? Yeah, I agree.
Um,
Julia never had any. I mean, she she had a little bit, but you can't steal something that wasn't really there.
right,
That's why they
exactly.
put the title on her and took it off and put it on and took it off, and it's because they're trying so hard. It's not going to work, man. I like Julia, but she needs to be on Raw around people like Roxanne and Liv. She's not big enough to be on SmackDown. I feel like SmackDown needs the big names because that's where the big names are. And if you're a small fish in
Okay.
SmackDown, you're not going to stand out.
No,
Um, but hey, that's just my personal opinion on that. But the Elimination Chamber match was a good match.
yeah, it was.
Um, the women's was. It came down to Tiffany and Rhea, and after Rhea won, that's when I messaged you and said that if Cody wins the men's, and I was standing firm on it. If Cody won the men's, I was not watching wrestling until we were. I mean, we could do the show. You could talk about whatever you want to talk about. I would try to throw my 2 cents on whatever you told me. I wasn't going to watch none of wrestling until after WrestleMania. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it
And we'll
because
get
I'm so
to.
tired of Cody and
I was about
yeah,
to say, and we'll
get to
get
that.
to if he won or not because I might be in I was
Yeah.
gonna probably or I might be in a similar boat because it just I was like if you go chalk on the two biggest matches you have and be that predictable, my goodness, I first off shout out to TNA Wrestling who is welcoming Impact Media this weekend for or this Thursday, Friday for their stuff. We would be way more. We might be a TNA show until WrestleMania if that particular thing happens. But I'm going to try something. While you are frozen, I don't know if you can hear me or not.
That's what I was going to
All
tell
right.
you. Whenever it freezes on my end, I can hear you. I stop hearing you for a minute, and then it comes in, and I can hear you, and then your picture comes back. So I don't know what's going on.
Okay. So let's pause for a second. Let me try something while we're live on the thing here. We're going to see if we can make this particular thing happen. I'm trying to figure out why it is doing what it is doing. Okay, let's see if that works better.
Okay.
We swapped to the backup network here at the studio. We're gonna see how that works. Okay. Yep, we will see how
So
that works.
the next match was for the women's IC belt, right?
Yeah, good match.
It was yeah, it was obvious who was going to win that match. The ending was janky. She wasn't
It
in
was.
that move at all.
No,
Um,
I think somebody missed a spot or it got hurried. Maybe it got cut because the chamber before it went a little long.
I see that they're doing something with that referee, the lady referee.
Jessica Carr. Yep,
Yeah, there's going to be something because AJ is strictly went completely away from Becky. Like those two are done with each other. So
it seems
Jessica
like it.
and Becky
Well,
are going to have.
there's also 7 weeks. There's like almost I think they said it's like what 45 days now until WrestleMania. So it's they've got forever and a day for people to dance around. The only ones that are locked in are the main titles. Everything else is up in the air until then.
Is the main titles locked in?
No,
Um, so good old
but
Cat Girl.
like you said, new champion AJ. That was great. Um,
He came
we
out
will
on
get
Raw,
into
said he's going to be a fighting champion. Now
yeah.
there's going to be a gauntlet match to figure out who's going to be her opponent.
I'd I'd rather them draw out of a hat. They do so many of these dumb stipulation gauntlets and battle royals and all that. It's like at some point either have them spin a wheel or I'm trying to keep obvious answers out of my head. Have them play
Rock,
Monopoly will
paper,
take too
scissors.
long. Have them, yeah, there you go. Rochambeau, let's figure it out. Because it's always gauntlets. It always comes down to the same two or three of them. Just go ahead and have those three do a triple threat, and it is what it is. Why do we have to include seven people when five of them aren't technically on the level to be there?
Who do we think it's going to be against her?
Um, she's on Raw. Well, I saw who's in the gauntlet. I mean, honestly, who I'd like to see is Ivy Nile. I think Ivy Nile and AJ would be really great. Ivy's one of those, like kind of like Kiana James, like with the right push, she could really do some big stuff. But I didn't see who else was in the gauntlet, but that's just somebody different that I would like to see.
I think Bailey ends up. I
Bailey.
think her versus Bailey will be a good match.
Well, the problem is then we know Bailey's going to lose. And I don't want Bailey to lose again.
Do we though?
Well, AJ just got it. They're not going to immediately give it off. I feel bad to Ivy Nile for the same reason. Whoever she faces out of this gauntlet is not going to win. Is it freezing again?
Yeah. Can you? I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
As
I
I
can
say,
hear
can you
you.
hear me?
Oh, there you
Okay.
are.
Okay. Wait. Hey, you know what? We'll just continue to talk. If it freezes, we'll continue to talk. Um.
I, I usually do.
so I go with I wouldn't. I guess I don't know. I don't know. We'll just see how it plays out. I don't honestly. I don't care.
Yeah, same. It's this is all filler. They're not going to move that title till WrestleMania. Even though I don't know that AJ is the top draw right now, so I would consider moving it maybe in 2 or 3 weeks.
Keep the title till WrestleMania.
Yeah. No, no, no. I don't think AJ does. I wouldn't. It's nothing personal to her. I don't think she's quite as big of a draw as you could really put emphasis into that. But I don't know who you moving on that's going to make it any bigger. I mean, maybe Bailey, but even then, there's I think there's bigger names out there if you're wanting to make it the biggest WrestleMania.
The Finn CM Punk match was great.
Yes,
Um.
I was disappointed, but even I understood it.
Yeah. I mean that's we knew who was going to be walking out of Chicago with the belts. I almost wish they wouldn't have had neither one of them put the titles on the line. So I mean,
I know. Well, but and then Finn's kind of good guy turn during Dominic's match that we'll talk about in a minute on Raw was interesting. Like he's trying to play it straight now, and I don't know if that's just the direction they're going to go, but this new Finn could be interesting.
well, I feel like CM Punk's turning heel.
I do too.
So it's
Because
gonna be very interesting.
Roman is neither. Roman is in that Randy Orton territory, that Triple H, where he's gray
Stone
area.
Cold.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's straight up Roman. He always says that. He goes. Somebody even McAfee asked him when he had him on before Royal Rumble, and he's like, "Oh man, you're back doing the healer stuff." And he goes, "Am I?" He said, "Last time I checked, I'm the tribal chief. I'm Roman Reigns. I do what I do, and you and the audience perceives it as good or bad." He said, "To me, it's just what I do." He said, "I don't particularly do anything thinking, oh, this is a heelish thing to do. Oh, this is a really good thing to do. I should do that." He goes, "No, I just do what needs to be done, and everybody else decides if it's good or bad."
That face off on Raw was great.
Wasn't it? There was a lot of real things said right there.
I
I
feel like
don't
it
know that
started
they
off
like each other because they went deep.
well. I feel like it was all okayed that they did talk about some of it, but also I feel like it started off as okay, we're just going to do this, and then a couple people went off script just a little bit, and I don't think they went off script a lot. They probably said this is what I'm going to talk about, and didn't say how they were going to say it.
The
And
last line I think tells me that at some point Roman went over something that CM Punk didn't know or didn't know he would go that far, and it made Punk mad, and in the process he dropped that line at the end the way he did. He could have said that differently, but the way he said it, I'm surprised Roman didn't deck him on live television.
got to it might have been the issue. I don't know, but I mean, we'll talk about that when we go get to Raw. Um, for the final
It's
match of
also good to
Elimination
know that it's
Chamber,
neither network causing this.
I feel like WWE is coming after us right now, and they're the ones that's causing us because we've been too on point with all of our
Yeah,
stuff, and they're upset that we low key are writing their stuff, and they don't like this.
yeah,
So we're being attacked by WWE guys.
and they're not even wearing hoods. We see them coming.
Yes, yes, yeah.
What was next? Oh, wait, there was by the way,
Oh,
the R Truth spot about the pizza with the two GMs was hilarious.
yes, yes. And then the box they said open on the 28th. Um, I was
I
kind of
was not
right.
surprised.
I was kind of right.
Yeah,
I think didn't I say him?
you did.
And he fits that.
Wait,
That's
yeah,
what he is.
all right. Well, they opened the box and there's a coffin there, and for one, somebody already tipped me off to it, but you see a coffin. All the girls come dancing out. By the way, his wife was one of them. She is
Yeah,
a Canadian burlesque dancer who is very,
yeah.
very famous. They are a fantastic pair. But
I like him,
but yeah,
man. I like him.
Dan.
I
I
think
mean, I know Danhausen pretty well because of all the AEW stuff. That's why I said he is always welcome on here. He is a fascinating person. And he got in all of his catchphrases, all of his things, his jar of teeth. I mean, all the
you've
stuff.
been cursed. You know
And
what? We might have been cursed. That's probably what's going on here.
no, because he does it in your face, or he would do a video or something, so we would know if we got
Okay,
cursed. And
okay.
he very much calls his shot. So but yeah,
I hate that.
Danhausen showed up. People who
I
are
hate that he
unfamiliar
was
with
booed.
Danhausen, he is funny, vampire ish, or kind of ghoulish R Truth. It's like he's
I would
actually a
say
decent wrestler, but he does a lot of funny little hijinks that I think is just going to add flavor to more than likely Raw. I don't know if he's on SmackDown or not. He may go on both.
I would almost compare him to Shark Boy from TNA.
That's not a bad comparison.
But I like him. He made an appearance on Raw. I don't like that he was booed. I don't like that he was booed on Elimination Chamber. But I think it's more because I feel like everybody wanted it to be Chris Jericho, and when it wasn't Chris Jericho, it didn't matter who. It could have been The
Which
Rock.
it's
They would have been
it's
booed.
been it's been the internet wrestling community, not the fans. I'm not blaming the fans here. The internet wrestling community ruined all that because they
Yeah.
built it up and said, "Oh, it can only be this, and anything other than that is a disappointment." And you're like, "Well, that's your fault because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what he did. I like what he does. I have no problem with the way they did it. I thought he did great. It just confused the crowd because they had listened, they read all the dirt sheets, all the people who have no inside information whatsoever. And no, I'm not talking about the actual reporters, because for one, I'm one of those. The actual reporters, when we actually do know things and tell you things that are factual, you should listen. But you're listening to all these people that literally just sit in basements and make up stuff all day long. They have no idea what's going on, and you let them control it, and they ruined your moment. And that's on you, the fan. That's not on us.
And I also believe, I mean, I truly feel like the average WWE fan does not watch AEW. So they really didn't know who he was.
No.
I have watched a little bit of AEW here and there, but I'm a wrestling fan. So I know a little bit about that's how I even knew about him.
Yeah.
Um um I I hope WWE doesn't drop the ball with him, and I hope that they don't let it affect his opportunity for what he can be because it's gotten some bad start. Just like I feel like the bad response that Royce
Keys. Yeah.
yeah, Royce Keys got has affected him coming to because has he been on NXT at all since his debut at Royal Rumble?
No. No. The
He has.
only thing he did was Stephanie's podcast.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. So it's like I, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's
Which,
hope that it
once
doesn't.
again, we know that if the writing staff has nothing for you, if they haven't wrote you into the show, then you're not on the show. They don't just have you there for filler. Um,
I'm happy
it,
that they
as
finally got
far as
some stuff for
Danhausen though,
Rusev.
there's, I mean, yeah, thank goodness. It's not going to go well for him, but at the same time, it's going to be fun to watch. But back to Danhausen, there's somebody I'll even tell you on the SmackDown roster that I think he has to cross paths with, not necessarily in a match, but it just fits with what they're both doing, and I think it would be very entertaining.
R-Truth or Joe Hendry?
Neither one.
Oh, Alistair Black maybe?
Alistair Black.
Yeah,
Can you
I think that'd
imagine?
be interesting.
They're doing one of those dark speech things where he's like sitting at a table and he's I call it the carrying cross thing, but he's just sitting there and Zelina's like blinking around in the back and doing all this stuff, and then you just like out of nowhere just see like a Danhausen stick up and go, "Oh, hey, this is your place. That's mine over there. Hi." It just something. We're just he's just like,
Yeah, yeah.
"What was that?"
So us even bringing this up got me thinking. For the Elimination Chamber match, I got a theory. I got a theory, and it's not Austin Theory. For the men's on what because just because I'm seeing some seeds planted.
Yep.
God, I hate that. Okay, we can get to the Elimination Chamber because I see it because some seeds just got planted in my head.
Yes.
Um,
All right. Men's elimination
so
chamber.
uh,
I very
Logan,
much was, even though that was the one, I was told multiple times Saturday who won that way before I got a chance to watch it. But I was very excited. I wanted to see how they did it. Love how they did it, because they were taking way too long to get Cody out of the ring. Or no, not Cody. Way too long to get Trick out of the ring, and the
yeah,
gate was wide open. And I was like, they couldn't foreshadow this any worse right now. We
no,
know somebody's
not.
coming out.
Oh, that's when Seth came in. That's when Seth came in. That's right. Yeah,
Well, no, it was multiple things. They're trying to get Trick out, and like just stuff goes everywhere, just out of nowhere. And then we see another mask guy, and this mask guy does his thing, and then unmask, and it is Seth freaking Rollins, who we'll talk about him on Raw in a minute. It was good to see him back.
but he was the
Uh,
reason that Logan ended up getting pinned. So after
he's a
Logan got
television
pinned,
person, which
it
finally
came
stays with the MO of the guy.
it came down to Randy and Cody, and that's when Drew came in. And Randy
Yep,
kind of stood back and let him do his thing. And they were fighting, and then he was like, you know what? Nah. So he goes over there and he turns Drew around, and I think he did the RKO.
he did.
And then Cody does his move, and then
Because
outside
wait, stop there. Because Cody had to make it about himself. He couldn't just let Randy take him out and then go after Randy, which would have been the right thing to do. Instead, he's like, "Oh, I can do my finisher too, and I'm going to do it because I'm Cody Rhodes." Well, Cody, how'd that go for you? Because as soon as you did a crossroads, you popped up and ate an RKO, and you lost. So
so
if you would have done what Randy did, you would have won the match.
if you watch, Randy was about to help Cody up after he pinned him.
And he
He
goes,
looked, he stopped, and he walked away.
"Yep,
So Randy's going to turn heel. and it's going to be
I
the
don't think so.
Aleister Black. It's going to be the Aleister Black in his head. Remember, Aleister's been telling him, has
Oh,
been in his head. That's why when you
he has
said that
been.
about Aleister, I forgot that re-triggered. Like, oh yeah, Aleister's been in his head saying you ain't the same Viper. This is so he's pulling that evil side out of Randy. So that's also showing that Cody, because Drew made sure Cody
Oh,
did not win. There you go.
now we,
I'm
now we, but we know what's going to happen now, and they're not going to make it a triple threat, which is the only way to make it right after what they're going to do.
They might make it a triple threat. They might. It might end up because he might be like, I have a rematch clause, and I want my rematch clause at
He does,
WrestleMania
because here's the thing:
because
if it would have
Cody's
been,
gonna beat
if,
him on
first off,
SmackDown.
congratulations to Randy. If it would have been Randy versus Drew, I think that would have been a fantastic night one or even day two opener. Either way, whichever one you want to pull on that one, that would be fantastic. But no, we've got to have Cody flipping Rhodes in the middle of this. So now we're going to get Cody versus Drew
No, we're not.
this Friday.
We're not going to get a three-way. I've got it now. Jacob Fatu is going to cause Drew to lose. That's going to cause Fatu versus Drew at WrestleMania. Because remember, Drew stopped Fatu from being able to be in Elimination Chamber.
See,
Or is it going to be a
okay.
four-way?
First off, I don't want a fatal four way
Okay.
because it's way too clunky. Um, to me, the two bigger matches to book for WrestleMania is Drew versus Randy and Jacob Fatu versus Cody. To me, those are the two biggest matches of the four.
But the Cody versus Jacob really doesn't make sense unless Fatu's not going to go heel.
They could be good, or we know Opie Taylor, Cody Rhodes is what he is, but Jacob Fatu's kind of in that middle ground too. He's considered a good guy, but he's got that edgy part to him where he just goes rogue sometimes. And
Well, who knows? We'll find out Friday exactly which direction they're going. I
yeah,
got to
we'll
make
find
sure
out when
I'm
they
back
agree
from
with
the
us.
fair.
But
Fuck.
for all things, I'm not going to say all things holy because I had a really good week of that. But just for crying out loud, we'll go with that. For crying out loud, if Cody Rhodes wins Friday, you want to tune in next week anyway. You definitely want to tune in because we might be doing that in some boiler room somewhere because it may be the only place we haven't destroyed yet.
Yeah, yeah. They've got to have Cody in that main event. It's so crazy. Just like Rhea,
And
this is
see,
Rhea's fourth
well, and
straight
here's the
main
thing
event
too
at WrestleMania.
is that we found out that TKO calls a lot of the shots on things. Like Triple H and the other ones will get stories and stuff going, and they're like, hey, nope. Just like the Riyadh people did, they wanted certain people on the card that weren't necessarily on the card already. So they said, well, we're the ones footing the bill for this event. We need those people here. So they got put on it. So I think in the same way that TKO is like, well, that's fine that you have Randy versus Drew, but I need Cody involved in it somewhere because Cody is the big draw.
Do you think that they're worried that it's not going to do the same sales as last year, so they're trying to, because it's
Oh, it's
not
not going
selling,
to
that they're
anyway. I
trying?
promise you, it's not going to do the same as last year.
I don't think it's going to be anything anywhere near it. Um, these prices for these tickets are getting ridiculous.
That
But
too,
hey,
but I mean, last year you had John Cena's last WrestleMania. That's what sold that building out. It didn't matter what else was on there. The rest of it was great too, but everybody knew this was one last Mania for Cena. So if you're a Cena fan or a wrestling fan, you tried to get there.
okay, I guess I can let you have that. So we can get on the Raw then. Because I think there's some seeds being planted for some WrestleMania matches that we haven't
Yeah,
discussed. I want to
I
get on the
agree.
first one. I want to get on was the Dragon Lee versus Gunther, where
By the
Dragon Lee
way,
was unmasked.
fantastic, fantastic. That was
Dragon Lee
a
is
great
showing,
match.
showing that he is a superstar. He just got hurt and it slowed his stuff down. This is setting up. Gunther is no longer going against Brock Lesnar at
No,
WrestleMania.
no,
It's
I
going to
agree.
be Gunther versus Rey Mysterio for his career, and it's going to be like a mass thing. That's
Ooh,
why. Yeah.
Ooh,
And so it's going to be your career, or your mask.
I think it's going to be his career because up until then, I
It is
would
going
have
to be a career
said
because Rey
I
Mysterio's
wanted
done.
to. I was because I was thinking Ray versus Dom, hair versus mask would have been a great WrestleMania, but no, Gunther retiring Rey Mysterio is now the thing I'm unfortunately rooting for because
And
Rey's
that's
great.
going to lead SummerSlam being Gunther versus Brock, where Brock's last match, because that's another one big one. So I think Brock ends up going against. He's going to have to put somebody over as the next big thing, and it might be Oba.
Oba,
And I think that would be a great match.
WrestleMania. That's
Yeah,
in fact the one-on-one is the better thing, but if you really want to help a couple people out, you put Royce Keys in that match too, and you just have three monsters.
I feel like that's too much. That's why Royce couldn't shine in
I
the
agree,
Royal
but we got
Rumble.
to do something for Royce because man, he is stuck out to
Maybe
dry. Like
Roy
he's not only up the river without a paddle. I'm not sure he has a boat.
Royce is going to be in NXT for a little bit. I feel like you'll have him down there for a minute
I think
because
he's main
what do you
roster
do
ready.
with
Though is
him?
the bad thing.
He is, but what do you do with him? You can't bring him up
Yeah.
before WrestleMania. It just is what it is. Maybe he can make his appearance the Monday after WrestleMania, and that's when maybe he confronts Oba. You think you're the big guy now?
No, I want to keep those two away from each other for as long as I can
Okay. Huh?
because I don't
Well,
want either of them to lose. It's neither one of them need the loss right now.
um, something
What's
we
the other
didn't
thing?
talk about, but I can kind of talk on it.
Oh,
Uh,
wait. Congratulations to one of my favorite tag teams growing up. I have an autograph from one of them.
Axe and
That's a story.
Smash.
That is a story off air as to how I got Axe's signature. But yeah, Demolition were announced for the Hall of Fame on top of AJ Styles and Stephanie
Stephanie.
McMahon and all the great people that are in there. Great for Axe and Smash. They did was it Al Harris and Barry Darso, I believe, are who Axe and Smash are, and so
For
many great things that they did.
those of y'all that don't know, if you were a fan of WWE back in the mid '90s, Repo Man,
Yep,
that was Barry.
that, that was
Um,
Barry.
I want to say there was another
And that's
the other
another one.
one.
You look at the way they were dressed with all that leather and leather and like S&M looking chamber whip stuff. They were stuck together and not supposed to work. It was
They,
not
well,
supposed. It was just
well, they
supposed to
were
be a
created.
give them something dumb to do to get them over there in case we need them. And then as they made
Well,
something
not
out of it to where they had like a 4 or 5 year run where they were actually a really good team.
well. This from the way it happened was Vince tried to get the Road Warriors and they wouldn't come, so he
Nope.
created his own Road Warriors.
Yep.
And he pushed them to the jump. He pushed them and they grabbed you know what I'm saying. So because you can push people and they
Sure.
don't grab and they don't make it. I mean, for instance, there was quite a few that was pushed back in the day that did not make it.
Drew
Um,
McIntyre's first run.
yes, yes, yes.
He
He
didn't
was
get
pushed
it.
hard.
Now he
He
gets
was
it.
pushed
Yeah.
hard. So yeah. Congratulations, Axe and Smash. Why aren't they
Absolutely.
putting Crush in there too?
Mm,
I
mm.
know he was part of but that was also Atom Bomb and all
No,
the
no,
other stuff.
he wasn't out of bomb.
Are you sure?
No,
No, he wasn't. Crush was because he was something else when he was the
he was
Hawaiian Crush.
Brian Adams. He's
Yeah,
Brian Adams. Brian Clark was Adam
Atom Bomb.
Bomb
What? That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
because they were the
I got
Bryans
the
when they
Bryans
went to
confused.
WCW.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um. But yeah, congratulations to them.
yeah.
Unfortunately for me, being the big fan of this guy that I am, LA
Mm.
Knight just keeps on messing up. He's doing it to himself. That elbow.
Well, no, no. Wait, on Raw, he showed a skill we didn't know he had. Apparently, he's a licensed ambulance driver.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For
Thought that was
Paul.
funny because I was like,
So
there has to be something. He's not going to just go to the hospital. And then when Jimmy looks over and you see LA Knight, I was like, there it is. Okay, now that's funny.
So also that's showing us that Paul is going to be off the air for the
At least a month.
unforeseeable future. There's nothing else
Yeah.
to do with him. The vision's done. I think.
Brock
Um, um,
Brock's advertised till WrestleMania.
they're going. But he's not going to be that. Could this lead to a Brock Lesnar versus LA Knight type thing, or um,
I hope not for LA Knight.
um, it just I don't know what I don't know what they're going to do with Vision, and I believe that Braun Breaker will be back for WrestleMania, and it will be him versus Seth. That's
Because
what
we
they're
know
setting up
Seth
there.
is, and see, once again, Seth came back in a role to where he doesn't have to be 100% right now. He doesn't have to wrestle till WrestleMania. He's probably going to be okay. He's good enough to do these things here and to come out and do what he needs to do there. I think we're going to see Braun maybe 3 weeks out of Mania. I think we're going to see Braun surface, and that will tell us if we're going to see it or not.
I believe um, we're going to see a different version of Seth than we've seen because the blonde is
I
no
agree.
longer in his hair.
No,
He's not dressing all flashy. I think that he's going to the dark days. So let's see what happens here.
back to the Shield.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. What else happened on Raw? We had a new
By the way,
champion.
shout out to the little kid I saw at church last night that was wearing a old school Shield shirt. I know you thought it was weird the way I was dressed at the time. That I said that's a cool shirt. I like them too, but glad you wore that to church. That was a cool shirt.
We had a new champion on Raw.
Yes, absolutely. I thought it was the absolute best move. Penta, your new is that U.S. Championship
No,
or is that
Intercontinental.
that's the Intercontinental?
I see.
Okay.
He's only the second masked luchador to ever have the title.
Oh, hold on. I don't think Ray ever had the Intercontinental.
Yes, he did.
He did?
Yeah, Ray's the first.
Okay.
2009.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's why it's
Penta's
time for
super
Ray
cool.
to hang it up, bro. Um,
I have met Penta. He is super cool.
so I knew Penta was going to be the champion when Dom got cursed.
Yep. I knew it before then. That I was like, oh, what a great time for them to move the belt off of Dom. He can still be the AAA at least for now, but it's time to I don't think they're going to break up the Judgment Day. You're going to get a restructure.
They are.
You're getting
No,
a restructure.
it's going to not because JD is going to be in the middle. At
Yeah.
WrestleMania, it's going to be Dom versus Finn.
I was just about to say I would love to see that match.
That's what you're going to see. It's going to be face Finn versus heel Dom.
And JD in the middle, not sure if he wants to help him or
Possibly,
stay out of it.
possibly special referee.
No, because I want JD McDonough somewhere involved. He's one of the best workers they got.
Special referee is the best way. So this is how I kind of see it. JD's like, guys, we need to stay together. I need y'all getting along. And they're like, nah, blah, blah, blah. They're going at each other. And he's like, okay, you guys face each other. I'll be the referee. I'll make sure that it doesn't get out of hand. And then that's when he picks his side.
Yeah, he'll pick a side. Yep. And
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be Finn's side.
I don't either. Because it's too obvious that they're friends. Because they're at the thing. He was like,
Oh,
because
Finn trained him. That's his protege. That's one of his top students is JD McDonough. Now, you can tell they have similar styles, but they're different in the way their psychology is.
and I think they're trying to push Finn as a face to get the title on him again.
I agree. I think they realize that now's a great time to potentially move it his direction. It's not going to be WrestleMania. It might be Money in the Bank, Backlash, whatever's right after it.
I could see him winning, getting the Money in the Bank, and then cashing it in on.
Actually, yeah, I feel bad for LA Knight. I don't think he's the obvious choice anymore. I think Finn Balor would
Yeah.
be a great Money in the Bank.
Well, Finn has did nothing but help himself with all these matches that he's having against these stars. It's kind of like he's taking the spot of AJ Styles now because Finn doesn't have a bad match.
Well, does that mean that at some point we're going to tee him up for Gunther?
In about 2 years.
Maybe. I don't know how
Because,
long Finn's going to go. Maybe he wants to go 10 years. Maybe he wants to go 10 months. I don't know.
but I I was iffy about this little thing they were doing with Gunther, but now I'm
Not
liking it.
anymore. I love
I'm
it.
liking it because whenever we're like, you know what, I love Rey Mysterio, but it's time for him to hang it up. Let's let Gunther take him out. You know what, Brock Lesnar, it's been fun with you. Let's let when Chris Jericho comes here, let him have a little run. Let Gunther take him out. That's to me that's he's become the new legend killer.
And the ultimate thing will be is that anytime that Gunther and Orton cross paths, you have to constantly keep looking over your shoulder. Like, is he going to take Randy out?
Is this
Randy says he
it
wants to wrestle for like another
for
10
10
years,
years?
which
I
is
know.
possible. It's the way he is and the style he has, he can do it forever. But
If he wins,
also at some point, does he get tired of not being at home, or is he chasing the world title? Is he chasing the record?
that's what he's doing. If he wins, it'll be his 16th. He'll put him one behind Cena. I think that
And
he'll be okay with
he has said
tying
multiple
Cena.
times nobody's going to touch Cena's record. So does that mean he's going to just say no and deny it, or does
I
that
think
mean that he's trying to foreshadow that he's going to be the one to do it?
I think he ties it and then he tells him I don't want to beat it.
And then they say, not your choice. You're beating CM Punk
Being
or
Balor.
whoever. But
Sounds like Tiffany time. Tiffy time just got home,
oh,
which
cool.
means my dog's gonna start barking.
I told you,
But
Epsom salt in a nice warm bath will help that.
help the dogs, yeah. I'm trying to see if
But no,
anything else
that we got
happened
to talk
on.
about that at the well. Let's talk about the Masked Man stuff, and then we'll talk about those two at the end
Okay.
because the Masked Man stuff was fantastic. Basically, Raw opens up. Paul Heyman is like, "We're the Vision, and dang it, you're going to listen to us, and there's nobody going to come out and interrupt us, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this." And then Masked Man shows up, and he tries to get in the ring, and then backs out. Out comes or Logan.
It was
Logan's like, I got it. And so he goes after it. Theory's like, fine. And so Paul goes to talk again, and here comes another one. And I was like, does anybody not see what's happening here? The herd is getting thinned
yeah.
very quickly. And even you could see Heyman start to do this, like, no, 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 stay in here, stay in here. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? And as soon as Theory chases the next guy, I was like, it's not the third, it's the fourth.
Different,
The
yeah.
third one is coming up. This is a great view, by the way. He's coming up the entranceway. This is the view that Paul has. This is the view that Paul has, and you can see, and even he's looking like you're not. And I was looking, I said, "That's not him. That's not him. He's behind you." Listen to the crowd. All of a sudden, the crowd starts to build up, and I said, "He's behind you." And not only do we get the great curb stomp and all the stuff. I mean, he blasted Paul. I don't know how much the face stomp he got him really good. I think he did bust his lip. That's where all that blood was coming from later on.
The
But
here's
here's my take on that, or my idea on that. You said it was all people from his school. That would make a lot of sense. He has one of the better schools. It's one of the better feeder ones too that you don't hear about from to WWE. They get a lot of people from up there. Um, what if he's bringing in his? I mean, it could just be extras for now, but what if he's bringing in like the new Shield, the way he was brought in by CM Punk? He's bringing in a new crew. Almost now, NXT has a group that I thought would have been great for this, but I don't think they're quite ready for the prime time. Called what is their name? Dark State. But like, what if he's bringing in a few of his students that were going to come in anyway, or that people that were in the early stages of NXT and weren't on TV yet, and he brings them in as his new crew, and he kind of leads his own new Shield.
faction, yeah. I mean, I could see it. I could see it. If the funny thing about Monday night is that happened in the same arena that when he turned on Shield, when he hit Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose in the back, that happened in that
Mm-hmm.
arena.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's his spot. Um, it's an interesting. They had to write Paul off. Um, I'm curious where the set thing is going to go. It's going to be a match against Austin Theory. Is going to be a match against Logan Paul. That's going to be the next couple weeks.
I don't
It's going
know.
to. I mean, it's going to. It might not be a match, but it's going to lead up to them crossing paths. Um,
Let's say this: whoever he doesn't face might be the mole inside the vision that we keep saying. We keep saying it could be either or both of those guys. I still think it could be Austin Theory because he's been the least like Logan's chased everybody. Logan has been like an attack dog. He's been after everybody, which is a good way to play it off. But Theory's been the more reserved, like a picking his moment. He could still be the mole inside there, or maybe it's neither. But whoever Seth doesn't face before Braun comes back is probably going to side with him.
well, here's the thing. Was it going to be both of them before Bronson and Braun got hurt?
I
That's
think
what
so.
I'm thinking. And I
That's what
think
we
it would have
both said.
been Bronson and Braun versus Logan and Austin at WrestleMania. Would have been
And
it would have
and
been
it still could be those two because they haven't done anything towards Seth. They chased away masked attackers, but they made it look good. Like, oh, I got this. I'm gonna go. Oh, I got this. What if they wanted to leave Paul there? So not Logan Paul. What if they wanted to leave Paul Heyman there so that their actual leader could get a piece of Paul Heyman
hey. We'll find
without
out
them
as we
having to
go.
play it off? Because if they're standing there, then they have to defend Paul. If they're nowhere to be found, even if they were to race back, neither one of them raced back, by the way. They were through the entranceways. But even if they would have tried to race back to help, it didn't matter. Like they weren't there to do it.
But I mean, like we'll see it. But from one Shield member to another, the ending of Raw with Roman and CM Punk facing each other,
Man,
that face off, and something that was said. I love how that's how I know that they this was planned out. Now, the way it was
sure.
said probably was said a little wrong. I mean, said was like it was a little heated, but this you can see the planning because CM Punk said, "I brought y'all," and he said, "No, you didn't bring me. You brought them." And CM Punk
Which
was
was
like, "Yeah, you're
interesting. I
right."
was trying to figure out what he meant by that because
Do
no,
you
they
not
all
know?
came in at the same time.
No, 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 no. CM Punk picked the Shield. He did not want Roman Reigns. He had
Oh, that's
he
right.
had
That's right.
he had Cassius Clay as the third. No, with Cassius Clay. Uh,
Cassius Ono,
yes, Ono was his choice,
Chris
and for
Hero,
some reason,
one of my favorite indie guys, Chris Hero.
there you go. See, and for some reason, they said no, we want Roman Reigns. So I love that. I love that because
Well,
technically,
Cassius is a longtime friend of CM Punk, long time,
and that's
and
why
we know Seth Rollins knew him very early on before because I
from
think he
the
trained under him as well. I don't know if I think Dean was probably a pick by
Dean was
WWE
just
too.
there. But
He's too
yeah,
good to
Roman
not be
was
in that
not
group.
a CM Punk pick. He was put
No.
there, and so that's where that's where that came from.
Okay, that makes sense.
So that's so I mean that goes to show like I watch a lot of WWE stuff that's not TV
Current.
stuff. I watched the behind, and that's how I knew
Oh,
about that. And I was like, oh my god! So when he said that, a lot of people didn't pick up on that. Even you, they didn't
I
like
did.
what. And that's what I'm saying. So for people like me that did, I said, "Ooh, it was great. It was great." That's why CM Punk made that little face, like, "You got me.
Like,
You got me."
good point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
So,
you said, I think they both had an idea what each was going to say for the most part,
but they didn't know word for
and
word.
and like I said, either Roman went a little rogue or Roman said something a way that CM Punk didn't particularly like, or CM Punk did what CM Punk always does and goes rogue on his own. And I think Roman knew that he was going to bring up his dad. I don't think he knew he was going to bring him up the way he did about talking about burying him next to him. And I was like, I'm surprised CM Punk is not drinking milkshakes right now because that's unfortunately what I would probably do in that situation. I right there live on television, right on Netflix, millions and millions of people would even people on Neptune would see me drop him and knock all of his teeth out.
Millions and the millions of the Rock's fans. But yeah, it was a great promo.
Yeah.
I
And we still got 7 weeks. It is so long before this is going to happen. I do like what Punk said. that he's like, I don't know what you're worried about, Roman. I'm the one that's going to have to carry you for the next 7 weeks because I'll be here every time. And I was like, all right, well that means Roman needs to be here every time just to parlay that. But how do they avoid each other in a match or anything for the next 7 weeks? That's a long time.
Here's the thing for you. Where was Brock Lesnar? That was one of his dates. He wasn't there
Wasn't
last
he?
night.
He was advertised, right? No, no,
Yeah,
no. I thought it was not the week after. This starts next week, I think.
it starts on the 10th.
I
I mean,
think. I
the
think
ninth. It starts on the ninth.
the ninth. I think
Okay.
the ninth was the
Okay.
first day
So if he's
because
not there on the ninth, I'm gonna need answers, Brock.
I mean no Paul Heyman, no advocate,
We'll see. We'll
which
see.
is maybe that's where his open challenge starts to go sideways. Was maybe Paul had this thing all orchestrated out, and without him, well now Brock's like, well I still got an open challenge. It's like, but he's a little hot headed about it, and he just might jump at anything.
I'm wondering if Royce is going to be the one that takes the open challenge, and it ends up being Rusev versus Oba at WrestleMania.
No, they're
Because,
facing this week, aren't they?
yeah, but I mean, how long is it going to go? Is it just going to be a 1 week thing? I don't think so. But let's not forget, there's the
Knowing
Andre Battle
WWE
Royal.
and Rusev storylines,
There-
probably
There's
it's
your
probably going
answer.
to be a 10-day storyline
I just gave you an answer. Royce wins the Battle Royal, the Andre Battle Royal.
at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Okay, in a way too early pick, not a bad one. In a way too early pick, I'll say somehow
Matt Cardona.
Obafemi gets left off the roster and he wins that.
There's no way you leave Oba off, not with this push he's getting. But this is TKO slash
Yeah,
WWE.
exactly. TKO would be doing twice as good as they are if they just admitted that they listen to this show.
And you know what? We'll say it. We've said it once. We'll say it 1,000 times before we get off the air here, guys. You don't have to pay us. We do this for fun. Give us tickets, man. Give us tickets. Tickets, airfare, parking. Parking's expensive. Backstage passes. We are the backstage jabronis. We deserve
Yeah,
backstage passes.
right. Or just fly us in for the creative meetings. Fine with that.
Yeah, we could throw
We
our two
won't.
cents in there.
We will not say a thing about what's coming up on here.
There you go. We'd
We
keep
will
all
just
of our
talk
stuff to
about what
ourselves.
happened. Yeah,
That's it. That's it.
we'll
We
sign whatever agreement you got saying that anything in that boardroom we won't mention on here. I got no problem
we
with that.
we might even lie about stuff just to throw the candles out the windows.
You can.
Set
I'm
setting
pretty against
fires,
lying nowadays. It's
setting
not worth my
fires on
time
both
to lie
sides.
anymore.
It's not really lying. It's just not telling the truth. I mean, because you could tell part of the truth. Like for instance, if I wanted to go Friday to the little TNA thing that you and your brother are going to, I could tell
The
my
the
wife,
not the not so little TNA thing we're going to.
right? I said I could tell my yeah, that's gonna be badass. I could tell my wife, hey, I'm not gonna be able to be home. I'm not saying that I'm going to the TNA, so I'm not lying. You just don't tell all the truth. But
You must have a terribly uncomfortable couch.
oh no. I sleep very comfortably on the bed. She sleeps on the couch.
Unless you try to get away with what you were just saying, and then you and the dogs will be on the couch.
I'll probably sleep in my office.
You should. I
I
got a
got a nice
tour of his
office.
office last time around. It was quite nice for everybody who doesn't know.
I mean, I think that's it.
I think we hit everything we possibly can. Um, yeah, they're sowing the seeds. I do agree. I think Jessica Carr versus Becky Lynch is a WrestleMania idea. I don't know that AJ Lee makes it with the belt all the way that far. I think she does the open challenge thing, and somebody's going to take it.
So this is
Um,
what we're going to do next
I
week.
want to I want to see Alistair and Danhausen. That's my number one thing for the week. I want to see Alistair and Danhausen cross paths. I don't care where it can be at Starbucks for all that matters. And Starbucks, you please should sponsor this show because clearly at least one of us likes your stuff.
I'm okay with that. I just don't ever go. I think next week what we should do, it'll be about 5, 6 weeks out. It'll be 5 Raws away, 6 SmackDowns away. That'll give us one more SmackDown and one more Raw to watch. You'll pull out a paper before while we're filming. I'll have my little list, and let's make a list of 6 to 8 matches that we think is going to be at Raw. Like for instance, because then we'll know who
I mean, you
wins.
mean at WrestleMania?
I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. At WrestleMania, yeah.
Okay.
Like who, like right now we talked about we think it's gonna be Oba versus Brock. So that would be one that we would put on the list.
Okay.
We believe we're not going to say the winners because we don't know who's going to win, who's going to be the matches, but matches that we think that
Okay.
might be, and just to see how right we are. Six
And see,
weeks,
that's the
five.
thing. It's for everybody who's going, oh, well, there's the easy given ones, Roman versus Punk. It's like, no, you could throw a wrinkle in there and say, well, what if this happens? This happens. That changes that main event.
Everybody thought it was going to be Randy versus Drew. There's a chance that that's not going to be.
There's a really bad
Somebody,
chance that that's
somebody could get hurt leading up to. I mean, I'm pretty sure Braun Breaker was supposed to be going for the world title at WrestleMania this year until he got hurt. I'm pretty sure something big was supposed to be happening with Bronson Reed until he got hurt. There's a
Yep.
lot of stuff that's happened. Actually, I heard that their plans were supposed to be Jade versus Bianca at WrestleMania, but she's not healthy yet. There's
Still not.
plans. That's what I'm saying. So there's stuff that could happen that'll mess up everything.
So
That's
so here's the behind the scenes for things. For one, people like Road Dogg Jesse James have said as much. So do you know how early they plan WrestleMania?
um the after WrestleMania they start talking about what the next one's going to be.
The very next day
Yeah.
they get the board out, they make the plan, and they try to work backwards from that and go, if this is what's going to happen 364 days from now, how do we get from there to here backwards? And it changes multiple times for obvious reasons. It's like a big draft board. You have no idea who's going to get drafted in the spot before you, so they may steal your person. In this case, if people get hurt, well, we can't have him. So what if we do this now? And how does that set up this? And they plan it a year out to make WrestleMania the biggest thing ever.
Yeah. So
That's why I'm not convinced that Jade keeps the title that long. You brought that up about other people. I don't know that she's the biggest draw versus Rhea. I think there's some way bigger ones.
they've let her keep it too long to not have her keep it until WrestleMania.
I don't know.
They would have took it off of her already.
But the problem is
She
you got to
hasn't even.
build somebody up enough to take it. And the only person that really could have outside of Rhea was Tiffany, and she just lost the chamber. So if her name was Tiffany Rhodes, then there's a good chance that she could have gotten some title shot this week or something like that. But her name is Tiffany Stratton, so she'll just have to do something else. There's another one. We'll talk about it more next week. But there's people that now are out of the bubble, and they got to find a way in because there's nothing for her. She's not paired with anybody. There's nothing for her to do right now. She's got to get on WrestleMania.
Are they going to eventually get a women's 20 women battle royal for like they do the men's?
They could. I hope not, because then you're just proving the same thing you do with that battle royal is you're just trying to get everybody their pay-per-view bonus, and that it never leads to anything. I don't know one
Yeah.
past winner that has ever done a thing. In fact, most of them either don't wrestle anymore or at the other company.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's really their way out the door.
Yeah,
Everyone.
you're either about to get released or about to leave for AEW.
Yeah, I'm about to look now.
About the past winner?
Anything else? Yeah.
Um,
I know Cesaro, Big Show.
Baron Corbin, who I will see next week. I will see him live and in person next week.
Where at?
MLW on Saturday. They'll be in center stage.
Is that this coming Saturday or next Saturday?
Next Saturday.
I might have to. I love me some Baron Corbin. Oh, the most recent winner actually.
I think Big E won too.
Yeah. But the most recent winner actually has been getting a decent push. Carmelo Hayes.
That's true.
Here we go.
Okay.
Big Show. No, Cesaro was the winner of the first one. Big Show was the runner-up.
Hold
The,
on.
the, the,
As you mentioned them, I'll mention where they're at. Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli, otherwise known as the Triple A, no, the CMLL heavyweight champion right now, and he's in AEW.
the second one's winner was Big Show.
Big Show now works for AEW as a backstage person and producer and occasional commentator.
No, the third one, Baron Corbin.
Current, I think he's half of the tag team champions at MLW, and he's been doing some other stuff too.
Fourth one, here goes a name we ain't heard in a while. Mojo Riley.
Yeah, I almost called him by his government name earlier because I actually remembered it before I did Mojo Riley. He is, I believe, a stay-at-home dad, or he does something else. He has like 2 kids now.
And Jinder Mahal was the runner-up in that one. Interesting.
There's another one.
Here you go. The next year, this is crazy. I did not know this. The fifth year, Matt Hardy. He's in
Well,
TNA.
he's current. I'll see him Thursday and Friday.
Oh yeah, TNA. That's right.
Yep.
The sixth one, Braun Strowman.
He now does a food show, a traveling food show. Good for him, by the way.
The one after that, Jay Uso. Where was I during
Okay, that
these?
that was that was right before this was about to hit. That's part of his buildup. He won that, I believe. That was 3 years ago, 4 years ago,
5 years ago, going on
5 years ago.
six.
Wow. Okay, never mind.
WrestleMania 38. Here's a name I don't recognize. Madcap Moss.
That was Zach Moss or something was his name. He's I think he's a stay-at-home dad because he's married to a wrestler who I believe they have 2 or 3 kids now.
He's a big dude.
He is. He's a former football player. He was pretty good, but they just had no idea what to do with him. Madcap was the best thing they did with him, but I mean
Isn't he the
he got
one that
destroyed.
hurt? Isn't he the one that hurt Big E? Was he the
No,
one that did the, okay.
no, can't think of that guy's name. That the
Um,
other guy's one of the guys with Sheamus.
but Madcap is currently on the independent circuit.
Okay.
WrestleMania 39, Bobby Lashley.
Currently in AEW, but not currently doing anything in AEW.
WrestleMania 40, Bronson Reed.
We're at least getting the people who are still on the roster. He's
Yeah,
currently hurt, but I mean, yeah, he's actually getting a push. That helped him,
yeah, and then 41, Carmelo Hayes. There
and
you
he's
go.
currently on the better run of any of them.
So, yeah, maybe it's a curse to win
It
that thing.
it don't mean anything clearly.
Yeah,
So hey,
I
how
don't know.
about we honor Andre the Giant a different way? You know, here's a way to do it: Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar versus Royce Keys. Let's have 3 big guys in there at a time. The best way to show off big men.
Well, here's even more of a question mark for me, and then we can end it on this.
Yeah,
Andre the Giant never really even won a battle royal. Why, like he didn't win the Royal Rumble.
he not the Royal Rumble. He won some other thing. He was known for winning Royal Rumble. I think
Okay, he
he
never
won.
won
He won
the
like an early one.
Royal Rumble though.
No, well, it didn't come around till like late in his career. He was
Yeah,
only around for a couple.
I don't think. Yeah, yeah. All right, well, that's that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's about everything we can possibly milk out of this cow that is the week of WWE. Like we said, we'll be back sometime next week to talk more about this. We're gonna have a SmackDown and a Raw in between there, but in between there, Thursday and Friday, I will be at TNA. Sunday, I will be at Deep South Wrestling at Monday Night Garage. There are still tickets available for all of those. Deep South is free. TNA is very, very affordable. I don't have the current prices in front of me, but they are very affordable and they are close to selling out. So please go get your tickets and come by for those TV tapings. Um, Other than that, happy early birthday to your missus, which is where you will be this weekend. And do we miss anything?
Continue. I've been streaming, guys. Continue to stream, not scream, but stream. I've been doing
You can
Yakuza.
stream on the stream
That's right. I've been
while
doing
you eat ice cream.
Yakuza, and I love ice cream, and but I'm allergic to milk. And I've been doing Call of Duty
Mhm.
with my buddies. Heads up, man, for everybody. The Call of Duty. I am nowhere near PG-13. I say the craziest things. I say
This is
the
accurate.
craziest things. I'm surprised that I haven't been chat banned yet. One of my buddies is chat banned, and he doesn't even have it where they can hear them, they can hear him. He doesn't even, and he doesn't say anything bad. So I think that he's been punished for the stuff I've said.
That's what I'm
Um,
thinking.
yeah. But yeah, just a heads up. You can see me at on YouTube. I'm trying to put my, I guess I can't really touch it. I was trying to, but it says Daniel Snyder 8361. Um, yeah, just look me up on YouTube, type that in, not just Daniel Snyder, because it'll be somebody, it won't be me. Watch, like, subscribe. If you subscribe and hit the notifications, you will be notified every time that I do get on there. Other than
Do the
that,
same thing for
man,
this show.
yes, guys, yeah, like, subscribe. That way you'll know when
Impact
this comes out.
or at impact underscore media underscore. We'll find this show and so much more on there.
I've been telling a lot of my people that I say, hey, watch my show. I'm like, Jeremy has other stuff.
Yeah.
Like this. We both do this for fun, guys. We don't get paid for this. We do not get paid.
We don't get paid a lot for this.
Yeah, yeah, we don't. Oh well, but it's for fun. I always told myself when I get a job that I love, the pay is not going to matter. This is not a
Right.
job. This is what I do for fun.
Right.
But like and subscribe, guys. Share our stuff. When you
Yes.
see me post it on Facebook, you share it. How about that?
Or at least like it or go, hey, this sucks. Great. Tell us.
Yes, please, please, please. At least you're.
We'll know you're lying, and that's fine. That's between you and Jesus about what you want to lie about. But at least get
Yeah,
on there and say, hey guys, throw up a hand signal or something.
yeah, yeah. They told Kurt Angle he sucked, and he won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck.
In Atlanta.
Yes. All right, I'm done.
Yep. Yep. We are officially done. Thanks everybody for tuning in to another great edition of the Backstage Jabronis. He's Daniel Snyder. I'm Jeremy York. We will see you guys next time. Deuces, gooses. Go watch wrestling.